Welcome to the Checkout Point, your quick dive into this week's e-commerce buzz with me, Alex, powered by Blicket. These 20 minutes pack the latest trends, news, and insights. Let's navigate the digital marketplace together. Ready? Let's go!
Hey folks, welcome back to The Checkout Point by Blicket.co, your go-to spot for all things e-commerce. I'm Max, joining you with my usual triple shot espresso here.
And I'm Rachel, definitely more of a tea person, but equally excited to be here. We're diving into week 20 of our series, and as always, we've got loads of fresh insights and news headed your way.
Oh, and speaking of fresh, I'm super excited that we just published that blog post about transforming your confirmation email into an upsell powerhouse. You guys have to check it out on our website.
Yeah, I loved putting that together. It's full of real examples and practical tips. We'll be diving deeper into that in today's show too, but first up, how about that huge trade agreement between the US and China, Max?
Oh, absolutely, Rachel. That's big news. E-commerce owners in the US are probably breathing a little easier now. It's amazing timing with Father's Day a month away. This could really shake up some marketing campaigns.
Exactly. Speaking of shaking things up, our first segment today is all about that. We're going to take a closer look at how revamping those often overlooked order confirmation emails can seriously boost your customer engagement and sales.
Then, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of AI-driven e-commerce personalization. It's like, how much should your online store know about you, right?
And if you've been following the digital wallet scene, you'll want to stick around for our discussion on Shopify's Shop Pay. There's so much happening there with implications for both shop owners and shoppers.
Don't forget, we're also talking SEO and storytelling. You might not think they go together, but we've got some great insights on how data can actually help sell your story.
Plus, we're looking at how big players like Amazon and Shopify are navigating new global tariffs. It's going to impact a lot of strategies, particularly with the current economic changes.
And just before we wrap, we'll explore how e-commerce is evolving into a mature, integral part of the retail landscape. How online convenience and in-store experiences are blending into something really exciting.
You won't want to miss any of it, so stick around, grab your favorite drink, tea, or a triple shot espresso, no judgments here, and let's get this started.
Now, without further ado, let's jump right into transforming those confirmation emails. Rachel, lead the way.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Rachel, you know how we sometimes joke about the dreaded sea of unopened confirmation emails in our inboxes?
Totally, Max. It's like every time I order something online, I get that obligatory "your order has been processed" email, and I barely glance at it again.
Right, but get this. Our latest blog post on Blicket.co is all about turning that overlooked confirmation email into something pretty revolutionary for e-commerce folks. It's called Unlock Hidden Revenue, Transform Your Confirmation Email Template into an Upsell Powerhouse.
I love that title. It's so spot on. Most businesses really do treat confirmation emails as just a formality. But there's a huge opportunity there. What are some key points from the post that really stood out to you?
Well, first off, the idea that a confirmation email is actually a prime piece of real estate in your customer's inbox. The post talks about how, at that moment, your customers are already engaged. They've just made a purchase, so the satisfaction level's high, and they're more likely to be open to additional suggestions.
Exactly, and that's where the fun part can kick in. Upselling. The blog breaks down how you can add personalized product recommendations based on the items they've just bought. Say you buy a camera. The confirmation could suggest a compatible case or an extra lens that could enhance your purchase.
And it doesn't end at just pushing more products. The post also dives into brand loyalty. It's about enriching that customer experience. Maybe include a thank you video from the team or offer first-time buyer discounts on future purchases, which could turn a one-time shopper into a repeat customer.
Totally. And to think all this comes from a simple email that most of us hardly blink an eye at. I also appreciated the tips on making sure these emails don't come off as too pushy. It's all about making the customer feel valued, not just another sale.
That's the golden balance, right? Oh, and the examples in the post really help visualize what an effective upsell email can look like. Seeing real templates can spark ideas that you can tailor to your own brand and products.
Absolutely. For anyone running an online store, this isn't just useful, it's potentially game-changing. Implementing just a few of these tips could significantly impact your bottom line. I'm pretty excited to see some of our listeners try it out and hear about their results.
Me too. And for all you listeners right now, if you're curious or need a little guidance on how to jazz up those confirmation emails, definitely check out the full post. There's a whole lot more detail and some actionable steps you can start implementing today.
You'll find it over on our blog at blicket.co. I think there's something in there for anyone who wants to leverage every customer touchpoint. Worth a read and then some.
Couldn't agree more, Rachel. All right, let's keep this good energy going. What's up next on the pod? So, Rachel, we just talked about turning confirmation emails into sales machines, right? Now, picture this. What if every step of your online shopping was customized just for you?
Oh, like those customers who bought this item also bought suggestions?
Exactly. But imagine that on steroids. We're talking why personalization is the future of customer experience in e-commerce. It's all about making your shopping experience feel like it's tailored just for you, which honestly is super cool.
I was just thinking about that while ordering a gift for my niece. The site suggested a matching gift wrap based on what was in my cart. It really saved me time.
That's personalization in action. The idea is to use AI and machine learning to analyze a ton of data, like past purchases, search histories, even what you hover over and for how long.
Wait, they track how long I hover over things? That's kind of creepy, but also kind of smart.
Right? It's a thin line between super helpful and a tad too invasive. But here's the deal. By using this data, stores can create personalized experiences that can predict what you want before even you know.
That reminds me, I once got a coupon for dog treats immediately after I adopted my pup, Max. How would they have known otherwise?
Oh, the power of AI. It's like having a mind reader in your computer. And speaking of using existing info, remember how the confirmation email upsells we talked about earlier? It's like that, but throughout your entire shopping process.
But here's what I'm wondering, Max. Is all this personalization genuinely making shopping better? Or is it just bombarding us with more options and making decisions harder?
Good point, Rachel. It can definitely feel overwhelming at times. But ideally, personalization should make decision-making smoother and more direct. It's all about creating a finer, more curated experience just for you.
That makes sense. It's like having a personal shopper inside your computer. One who remembers every like, dislike, and even those impulse buys.
Exactly. And talking about buyers, this connects really well with what we're going to dive into next, the world of e-commerce marketplaces and their explosive growth.
Oh, that's going to be an exciting one. Seeing how these personalized experiences perhaps contribute to that growth will be super interesting.
Absolutely, it's all interlinked. Personalization not only boosts individual stores, but could be a game changer for entire marketplaces. Imagine a fully personalized browsing space where every item feels like it's handpicked for you.
Now that would definitely keep me coming back. Personalization might just be the secret sauce for growing these marketplaces.
For sure. And as we navigate these digital shopping aisles, it's fascinating to see how much the back-end AI is quietly shaping our decisions.
Quietly and smartly. Let's not forget that. All right, can't wait to explore more about these evolving marketplaces next.
All right, Rachel. Shifting gears a bit from AI and machine learning, which honestly feels like it's everywhere in e-commerce now. Let's talk about something super cool happening in the world of e-commerce marketplaces. Did you hear about how Shopify's Shop Pay has just exploded in growth?
Yes, I saw that. It's grown 57% in just the first quarter, right? That's incredible. But wait, Max, can you explain what Shop Pay actually is? I mean, not all of us are checkout tech enthusiasts.
Absolutely, Rachel. So, Shop Pay is essentially Shopify's accelerated checkout service. Think of it as the express lane at your favorite grocery store, but for online shopping. It lets shoppers save their payment details securely, so they can check out from any Shopify-powered store super quickly.
Oh, just like saving your card info with those food delivery apps, but Shop Pay is for a whole bunch of different stores?
Exactly. And that convenience, honestly, is probably a big part of why they've seen such growth. With more people shopping online than ever before, quick and easy checkout becomes a game changer.
That's a good point. But I'm wondering, how is this impacting retailers? I mean, the growth is great for Shopify, but does it actually help the stores using it?
Good question. From what I understand, Shop Pay not only speeds up transactions, but also helps reduce the number of abandoned carts. You know, when you add items to your online shopping cart, but bail before buying. Apparently, ShopPay has been really effective at cutting those down.
No way, that's actually super important. Annoying too when you think you've got a sale and then poof, it's gone. But look, speaking of changes, there's also been some talk about tariffs affecting e-commerce. Any updates there?
Oh, so on that, Shopify is saying it's a wait-and-see situation with the tariffs, which is kind of cryptic, right? But it's basically their way of saying things could shift depending on economic policies. And that keeps everyone on their toes.
Absolutely. It's like shopping for the perfect pair of shoes, and right when you're about to buy them, you're told the price might change.
Exactly, Rachel. Now, tying this back to what we were discussing earlier about personalization in e-commerce, thanks to AI. I think ShopPay's success also ties into how personalized and seamless we can make the shopping experience.
Right. Similar to how AI tailors the shopping journey, ShopPay smooths over the final hurdle, which is the actual payment. It's like having a super assistant who carries your shopping bags to the checkout for you. Speaking of smooth experiences, our next segment actually dives into how you can use digital marketing and SEO to tell better stories about your business. It's fascinating how all these pieces connect to create a compelling customer journey.
Honestly, it's all about knitting these different threads together. Payment solutions, personalization through AI, effective storytelling with SEO. They're different chapters of the same book on how to enchant your customers and boost sales.
Well, I can't wait to get into that. Sounds like another game changer for businesses trying to make an impact online. But I'm still amazed by how much a simple tool like ShopPay can really revamp the whole shopping experience.
Totally, it's like having a magic wand. All right, that's all super exciting. But let's hop over to the next topic and see what's cooking in the SEO world. So Rachel, moving on from our chat about e-commerce marketplaces, this brings us to a super cool related topic, using SEO data to actually tell better stories. What's your take on this?
This is fascinating stuff, Max. I mean, at first blush, SEO and storytelling might seem like strange bedfellows. But when you dive into it, it's all about connectivity, right?
Exactly. It's like, imagine you're a detective, right? SEO data gives you clues and patterns that help you piece together the narrative of what your customers are into. It's not just about rankings or clicks. It's about understanding the impact on the business.
That's such a good point. And it's not just raw data, it's the story that data tells us. I'm always asking, so what? Why do these numbers matter?
Absolutely. And here's the deal. I was reading up on how you can use SEO data to really hone in on what makes your business tick. For instance, if you're selling, let's go with skateboards, your SEO data can show you which products are the hot topics, what questions customers have, and even predict trends.
Right? So if you see a sudden spike in searches for, say, eco-friendly skateboards, you've got a clue. Maybe there's a growing niche market that you could tap into more. It's valuable intel for making those critical business moves.
Oh, and speaking of making moves, think about how this ties back to what we were discussing in our e-commerce segment. Like, if you're running an online store, this kind of SEO insight could help you better navigate those tricky marketplace waters.
For sure. But here's what I'm wondering. You get all this great data. How do you ensure you're interpreting it correctly? There's a bit of art to the science, isn't there?
You hit the nail on the head. It's one thing to have data. It's another to interpret it in a way that makes sense. Kind of like knowing all the words to a song, but not getting the rhythm. You have to find the story that resonates.
I like that analogy. And honestly, it must be an ongoing process, right? Adjusting and experimenting as you learn what works and what doesn't.
Totally. It's like being a DJ at a party, constantly adjusting your playlist depending on the crowd's vibe. Oh, speaking of adjustments, that aligns perfectly with what we're diving into next. We'll be exploring how e-commerce businesses are adjusting to global tariffs.
Absolutely. It's all interconnected. The better you understand your audience through SEO, the better poised you are to adapt to stuff like tariffs and other big changes.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, let's keep this tech party rolling and see where the data takes us next. What's the latest trend or change that's caught your eye in the digital marketing world, Rachel?
Oh, you'll just have to wait and see, but I promise, it's worth sticking around for.
So jumping right from our chat about digital marketing and SEO, there's this pretty big news affecting how businesses like Amazon and Shopify are playing their e-commerce game. With all these new global tariffs popping up, They're having to switch up their strategies big time. Honestly, it's like watching a live game of business chess.
Oh, I was just reading about that. It's fascinating because these companies are giants, right? And you'd think they're too big to feel the pinch, but here we are. So, Max, what's the scoop on Amazon and Shopify's new moves?
Check this out, Rachel. Both of these behemoths are rethinking how they operate across borders because of these new tariffs. Amazon, for one, is adjusting pricing and supplier strategies. It's super cool because it's not just about bumping up prices. They're actually getting smarter about sourcing and logistics.
That's such a good point, and it kind of ties back to what we were saying about using data in storytelling. These e-commerce platforms are digging into their data to make really informed decisions, minimizing impacts where they can. But here's what I'm wondering. How are they communicating this to their customers? Without causing a big panic about rising prices?
Great question. From what I've seen, transparency seems to be key. They're being upfront about why certain prices might be going up, which is a game changer in keeping customer trust. And they have to be creative, like maybe highlighting the value or the backstory of the products more now.
That reminds me, the shift in narrative could be a really clever way for them to maintain that connection with their customers. It's not just about the product anymore, but about the entire journey it takes, tariffs included. Wait, seriously, think about it. It's almost like each product has a little passport with stamps from all over the world.
I love that analogy. Every passport stamp being a part of its story. Speaking of stories, with Shopify updating their strategies too, I'm curious to see how this will play into their next quarterly earnings. We're actually going to dive into Shopify's Q1 earnings for 2025 in our next segment, so it'll be interesting to compare notes.
Exactly. And I'm not entirely convinced that all businesses are prepared for these kinds of shifts. Smaller e-commerce stores could really feel the squeeze. They don't have the massive infrastructure like Amazon or Shopify to absorb these changes smoothly.
That's a super valid point. It brings us back to the importance of agility in business. Whether it's tweaking your SEO strategies to tell a better story, like we discussed before, or adjusting to new tariffs, staying nimble is key.
Oh, absolutely. And it's these strategic adjustments now that could set the stage for how well businesses can roll with the punches in the future. Hey, maybe it's not just about surviving the tariff changes, but actually thriving because of them by being smarter and more connected with their audience.
Boom, that's it. Thriving in the face of challenges by turning obstacles into opportunities. Couldn't have said it better myself, Rachel. So, Rachel, did you see the latest on Shopify? Their stock actually slipped a bit after they projected some lighter than expected guidance for the next quarter. Seems like they're a bit wary about the whole tariff situation that's been up in the air.
Oh, absolutely, Max. The word uncertainty was floating all around their earnings report. The tariffs especially seem to be a big point of concern, not just for Shopify, but for pretty much everyone in e-commerce. It's like walking on a tightrope trying to balance, right?
Exactly. And speaking of balancing, this actually ties into something we were just talking about before this segment. Remember how we discussed global tariffs and the adjustments e-commerce businesses have to make?
Oh, right. I mean, all this tariff talk isn't just about politics. It's super real for businesses. They have to plan how much stock to buy, how to price things. And with Father's Day around the corner, I bet a lot of them were hoping for a clear trade deal to smooth things out.
Father's Day, you say? Excellent timing because, hey, the US and China finally agreed on a trade agreement. Game changer for many e-commerce owners, don't you think? Probably less of the uncertainty beast lurking around.
Wait, seriously? That's some super cool timing. Dads across the country are going to get their gifts on time, after all. But back to Shopify. How do you think this uncertainty has been impacting their strategy? Like, are we seeing shifts in their approach because of all this?
You're hitting the nail on the head. From what I gather, Shopify might be playing it safe, possibly buffering against further possible disruptions. It's a bit of, let's wait and see, while keeping the shop running as smoothly as possible.
I'm not entirely convinced that's the best approach, though. I get the caution, but isn't this the time to, step on the gas? Especially when they've got the infrastructure to support bigger moves?
I see your point, but considering the bumpy economic predictions, maybe it's not the worst idea to hold the fort. Plus, remember the segment coming up next about consumer trends in e-commerce?
Oh, that's going to be interesting, especially to see if the cautiousness from Shopify is reflected across the board or if others are taking more aggressive approaches. It's like watching different players in a chess game.
Definitely. It'll be fascinating to see how all these strategies play out. And that's why we keep our eyes on these reports. Not just for the numbers, but for the stories they tell about the market's mood.
Stories that sometimes have more twists than a mystery novel. All right, let's keep our fingers crossed for those e-commerce entrepreneurs. More power to them navigating these stormy seas.
Well, onward and upward, right? Whether it's tariffs, trades, or trends, there's always something shaking up the scene. Let's keep watching and see what happens next.
Agreed, and to our listeners, stay tuned because you won't want to miss how these developments might influence your favorite online stores.
And just like that, you've spent another week with us at the checkout point. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a wild ride through the e-commerce jungle, hasn't it, Rachel?
Absolutely, Max. And wow, what an impactful episode. I really got a lot out of our chat on transforming order confirmation emails into powerful marketing tools. Who knew such a small change could potentially make such a big impact?
I know, right? And that bit about AI-driven customization in shopping. Feels like we're inching closer to having our minds read. Kind of spooky, but definitely exciting for the future of shopping.
Yes, and speaking of the future, the news about the U.S.-China trade agreement could really shake things up. For all you folks out there getting ready for Father's Day, this might mean some interesting shifts in your campaign planning. Definitely something to keep an eye on as we head into week 20 of the year.
Week 20 already? Time flies when you're having fun and selling stuff online. And hey, if you enjoyed diving into the deep end of e-commerce with us today, we'd absolutely love it if you'd join us again next week. More news, more insights, and yes, perhaps a few more of my terrible jokes.
Oh, they're not that terrible, Max? Well, maybe just the right amount of terrible. And don't forget, if you're looking for more resources or just want to learn more about any of the topics we've covered today, swing by blicket.co. We've got loads of cool stuff over there.
That's right, and we really hope today's episode sparks some ideas, or at the very least, gets you thinking a bit differently about how you engage with your customers. What was your favorite part today, Rachel?
I'd say diving into how Shopify is handling the new global tariffs. It's fascinating to see how big players adapt in real time to international changes. What about you, Max?
For me, it was uncovering the storytelling power of SEO data. As a sucker for a good story, it's awesome to see numbers turning into narratives that drive success.
Well, whether it's the science of data or the art of e-commerce, we're just happy to explore these topics with you all. Thanks again for listening, and we hope you found something valuable, or at least entertaining.
Absolutely. Until next week, keep innovating, keep experimenting, and keep pushing the boundaries of what your e-commerce business can be. Catch you next time on the checkout point.
Take care, everyone, and see you soon.